Hey everybody, I wanted to do a little video just talking about the project in general and show you guys a few things. First thing that I pulled up here is my GitHub account for this class, my repository for this class. You'll see it's called Discrete Math. This is my username for GitHub. You see my picture and stuff. So I did ask, you may save your files to GitHub and share a link from your repository for your project. It's not necessary. But I think it's good tactic. One thing I will say here is I do not want you to start just with my project and add to it, add and subtract to it. I would like for you guys to start with your own project. And I specifically made a project template that would help you do that. Let's poke around here. I'm going to show you guys in the online. Here's the project template I want you to use. You'll see I have done all these. I've done one for each. And even some discussions. So when I click the template here, which is the one I think that you guys will look at, you can see that I've done a few things, but not very much. When I click open in Colab, it's going to take me outside of GitHub, and I am logged in to my Gmail account. It may require you to log into your Gmail account to get to this. If you don't have a Gmail account, go ahead and sign up for one. It's free. So you see here project part number. I'm looking for you to put a number there. Sorry, I should show you. I double clicked on that and it lets me in there. You see that the project part number, and I put a 1 there maybe. You see I've done some funny things here. I'm using some markdown coding to make a link, and I actually link back to my GitHub account because I'm funny like that. And there's a project name and a place for you to put your student name and ID. I do want you guys to do that stuff. So I got into that cell by double clicking. I'm going to get out of that cell by hitting Shift Enter, and that executes the cell. Down here you'll see another header that I've done. This is the second header, H2, if you're familiar with HTML. When you close that, you see it kind of hides stuff below that. It's kind of a fun little thing there, but you can hide and show things. One of the things that I really want you guys to be aware of is that there are two types of cell. There's a code cell and a text cell. You should be using both of them. The nice thing about Jupyter Notebooks, why I really want to drive these home, is that you're going to be able to do some coding, but actually talk about your coding too. So we won't just be doing code and then commenting our code. I'll actually want you to be, writing out in words in these text box what you're trying to do. So I don't know. Below here, I define a linear function, and it returns 5x plus 2. I just hit Shift Enter on that, and this notebook was not authored by Google. I authored it, so feel free to run anyway. I promise this isn't going to hurt you. You have a lot of computing power here with Google. There it goes. This didn't do anything. I just defined a function. There's another text box here. You can delete all of these. You might only really need the header up here, but they're here just so you guys can see some of the stuff you can do. Here is me doing some really crazy math stuff. This is a math class after all, so there's some math that I did here. And you can see when you do it right, it displays it over here. I think this is I'm not going to come up with it. Not the Maclaurin, but the Taylor series for sine centered at pi over 4. I do say, make sure to mention if you're using packages. You're probably going to want to use a few packages as you go, although much of this I can do in base Python without adding too many packages. So let me show you the first assignment here. First assignment is all about sets. It's probably what you want to name your assignments. So we're going to build and manipulate some sets using the programming language. I ask you to build 3 different sets that contain at least 5 elements. I will refer to them as A, B, and C for the remainder of the assignment, but you should pick something else. Why do I say that? I say something about clean code here. So I'm jumping down, all the way down here, clean code. Functions and variables are defined with descriptive names. Code can be interpreted with minimal effort. And this is something that I want you guys to get used to. It's something that you will do in your jobs. You're not allowed to call every variable X. You have to describe the variable with its name. So these are something that you can, that you should look to do. There's a couple of different questions here. Again, I've seen multiple different ways to do this. I think the way I do it in my example is with lists, but I've seen some excellent work. There's also a set in base Python, so you can use the sets there. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. Again, I have this assignment is worth 25 points. So I have 5 points for report style. That's your name, author name, title, class it's for, instructor name, all that stuff that was already up there. Clean code, giving things descriptive names, basically. Not having to really try to interpret your code. Then I asked that you did the subsets correctly. That's one of the hard ones. Sets are computed correctly. And then I asked for writing quality. That you are writing about your things. I want you to write after each one of these. You do not need to wait until the end to describe your findings. I'm really hoping that as you put your A, B, and C, what those sets are, you tell me, oh, set A is all the dinosaurs that lived in the Jurassic period, or something along those lines. That was an example a student used last year. So that's what I'm really looking for here. I do put here, if you were unable to code something, discuss what the difficulty was and why doing it by hand was easier. So I give you guys a little bit of a cop-out. I do want you to try to code though, okay? I think it'll take you longer in the end if you do everything by hand, especially if you try to typeset everything by hand. So yeah. I think I have a typo here. There is no discuss the graph of your functions, so I will edit that hopefully before you guys see this. Okay, hopefully that all makes sense. Play around with it. Python's great. I use Python almost daily. Yeah, so hopefully you guys will leave this class feeling that you can use Python and that you know how to use it, at least in this the Jupyter Notebook style. All right, so there we go.